So my name is Alexandra Cassiano, and I have a son of 7 years old. He's in first grade, and we do I have to say the year.
No.
Oh,
just whatever you want.
And we currently live in Lomita.
Okay, awesome. And so you were a part of different programs within Family Promise. How did you first initially get connected with Family Promise?
So it was kind of crazy. I was
Whatever you want to say.
Oh, okay. So I was living in
Mm-hmm.
I was living in my car, and for a while, and then because there's some things going on, and then I heard I got closer to the Y, and so I was doing a lot of stuff there. I wanted to do some community work, and then so I got close to the leader of there, and I mentioned to her that I wasn't, I didn't have a home,
Mm-hmm.
and then she ended up telling someone else there, and they helped me with Family Promise. So they gave me the number, like, hey, like there's this shelter in Torrance, why don't you give them a call?
Okay.
So then I gave them a call, and then I spoke to Nick, which he was the other director that was here,
Mm-hmm.
and he interviewed me, and that's how we came here.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And what was your experience like when you were in the program?
Obviously, I didn't want to be here because I didn't know any. There's a lot of families here, and everybody has their own personality.
Mm-hmm.
And just me going through a lot of stuff. I just wanted to be by myself and with my son. I didn't want to have any problems with anyone, and so I really kept to myself. And when I was doing that, I was just like, I want to have my own home. I need to get my own home as fast as I can. I was working more, and so, but then I ended up meeting really great people. Every church that we went to, everyone was so welcoming and so nice and caring, and they actually they wanted to be there to help and just to have a conversation and just to know what's going on and how can I help you better. And so I think that experience for me was just like, wow, like these people really want to help. Like they can be doing other things like having fun, or just traveling all the time, or instead of like spending their week at the churches, doing what they do. And so that really opened my eyes and just made me realize, like, once I'm done, like, and I get myself together and I get my own home and everything is settled in, then I want to give back too, because that's how it should be, like everyone, once, someone helps you, like you can help someone else who's going through the same thing or similar. And so I just, and I have, God is has been someone really important in my life, so I feel like he would love for me to do that as well. So.
Okay. And we'll talk more about like where you're at now, but I'm curious, obviously in the rotation it's like hard, right? You're moving every week. What was the most difficult part of like that aspect of the program?
Waking up early in the morning, like 5 in the morning, to get ready and get my son ready, make breakfast or have breakfast, and just like making our beds or whatever we needed to do, and then leave the church by 6:15, and then come back to the actual church where we took showers and had everything else. I think that was the hardest for me. Getting I didn't like problems, so I tried to when I got comfortable, I tried to speak to other people, but I know that sometimes people didn't want to be bothered, so and I understood that, and I said maybe they're going through their own thing, I'm just gonna go in the room where I'm at and just stay there with my son, or just have and then some other people did really like that social conversation, and so I would stay there, and then my kid would play with their kids, and so that experience was nice. But I think the only thing that really kind of like bothered me was where we had to wake up early in the morning.
Right.
But I think
Yeah.
that teaches us discipline and just to like, you know, we're gonna have to do that anyways when we're out of the program because you know we have, like if you were a single mom or even if you're just you know you're with your partner and you have to like know those things if you have kids to like wake up early and just like start your day early and stuff like that. So I wasn't ready for that, but I guess it kind of made me learn and grow. So I, instead of taking it in, you know, in a negative way, I kind of like, okay, I'm learning right now how to like wake up early and just do things. And so I think that's the only thing that kind of bothered me, but other than everything else was good. So.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I know, you know, throughout the program since I've met you, you've always been a hard worker, always, you know, trying to find the best job that's available out there. Can you tell me a little bit about what the experience has been like since COVID has hit as far as like looking for a job and things like that?
I think there's opportunity everywhere. I think you just have to set yourself up to like, you know, I can find a job. I'm going to do everything that I can to find a job. But if you tell yourself like, you know, I'm just going to stay in this place because COVID and just make that an excuse, then I think, you know, you're going to be in that mentality. So when COVID hit, yes, I was worried and like, you know, I'm not going to socialize at work. My job is, you know, we don't have work anymore. Everything's slowing down. I'm not, you know, I won't be able to have my son socialize with his friends and all that stuff. So, you know, obviously that kind of like scared me a little bit, but, you know, I did everything to try to be positive and just be happy and just be grateful for the things that I had when COVID hit, because if I was just focusing on the bad bad situations, then I would, like I said, you know, I'm just gonna put myself there, and so I took that as like, okay, well, you know, my real job doesn't have work right now, but let me go get a job at a supermarket, where it was essential, or it still is, and so, you know, as they say, like I'm putting my life at risk because I see people coming in and out with COVID and they need food, but I didn't mind. I just said, you know what, like if people need food and, you know, I'm willing to just be there for them by just giving them food or just being like that person who can help them in the store. Then I think that I don't know how to say it, but like I felt like I did my job, not only just because I'm getting paid, but, you know, I'm also helping.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's always like, again, since I met you, something that you've always exuded almost to a fault, where you're always putting others first and helping others. I remember when the pandemic first hit and people were losing their jobs, not only did you go out and get a job, but you helped someone else in our program get a job as well. And I think that mentality of helping others has always been something that's exuded from you. So I really appreciate seeing that. And also, you know, the amount of sacrifice that you've made for your child, you know, your son. Can you tell me a little bit about like what his situation is right now as far as school? Because we know schools right now are closed and distanced, and so how are you supporting him right now in that?
So you know, we've been hearing in the news like for a while since like in the summer, you know, that like schools were going to be closed, and so, or they were still deciding if they were going to close them or not, and so I needed to be prepared, and so I started just, you know, like calling YMCA and asking like, hey, are you guys doing this and that, if the kids don't go back to school, and then they said yes, but then I decided to have other options in case that one didn't work, and so I got an email from his old preschool, and they said they would have, they were going to start a program where, you know, because a lot of parents were going to go back to work even with the COVID situation, even if they were just working at home. So they emailed me and asked me if, you know, I would like my son in the program, and so I had another option there, and then my son also had another babysitter. So I was just, you know, because you can't just have one thing, because what if that falls through, and so I decided to have like, you know, plan A and B and C. So
Right.
yeah, so I think I was, like I said in the beginning, I was having anxiety a little bit. Like, obviously it's normal because we never knew this was gonna happen. But I think it's just about like, okay, I mean, we can prepare like before for a long time, but I think it's just about like, okay, even if we're not prepared all the way, like let's make sure we're ready for something that's gonna not work or something terrible is gonna happen, like the global pandemic. And so I think it's just having that mentality all the time. So not being scared and just not knowing where to go, because then I have a kid, I can't do that. I have to be able to know what my plans are and my goals and things like that.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you were planning ahead, because as we were planning our distance learning program here, you came to us and told us about your plan with your son, and that helped us work together with one of our partner congregations to kind of find solutions for some of our families that we couldn't accommodate here, and so that was really helpful for us. You mentioned, anxiety, and I think right now in the pandemic, like, there's heightened anxiety and depression going on across the globe. What are some things that you do to kind of help resolve some of those inner struggles that come?
Well, I think when we have problems in our head, I think it's always really good to talk to someone you trust, just so you can vent and let it out. And some people may say like, oh no, you're crazy, you're worrying too much, but it's normal. Everyone's going through it. Just make sure you know who you're talking to, so they can be comforting, and they can be like, or they can tell you, like, hey, it's gonna be okay, and so this is gonna pass. And but then also, like, telling yourself too, like, positive affirmations. Like I try to tell myself every day, like, okay, today's a new day. Let's do something good. I can do this, or, I've been through this much, and, I can go through more, and so that's one thing. But I also like to hear, I like to dance to Spanish music, so sometimes at home, like when I'm feeling like, anxiety, or if I'm feeling like today wasn't a good day, I'll just put music on, and I'll tell my son like, hey, mommy needs alone time, and I'll start dancing. And so and he'll come by, and he'll just get my AirPod out, and he's like, what are you listening to? I want to dance too. And so that happened yesterday. Oh, nice. And so I do that, or sometimes I like to clean, and but then for me too, like hearing others that they're going through the similar thing makes you feel like you're not alone, and so you're like, okay, well, we can both cry together, and so that's really comforting. And I do, I try to pray a lot too, and so I think God is the only one who can control everything, because we have to accept that sometimes some things in life we can't control, and so just being aware of that, and to accept everything that's going on, because if you don't, you'll just be stuck and just being in a sad mood all day. So and it's just not healthy. So I do those things. Okay. And
cool, awesome. Yeah, I'm sure people that are listening will try some of those things, because everyone's kind of looking right now for outlets, because it's a hard time. Okay, so you're in a home now, your son is in school, you're doing a variety of things for work. Let's talk a little bit about like your dreams. I know we've talked a lot about what you want to eventually have, and so tell us a little bit about that.
So I've always had a dream to own like some type of food business. I'm still in the works of like what it is, but I think it's all about like networking and socializing, and just putting yourself in places where you think you have, like where you have never put yourself, because sometimes that's where you find yourself, and like not having that fear of like, well, I've never done this, well, try it out, maybe it's gonna be your thing forever, and so you never know. And so I'm like trying this thing out with my mom. She's like put me in like selling plans and stuff, like this Hispanic like dessert. And so I started realizing, I like doing this, but it's not something healthy, and I'm all about healthy. So I mean, I can have that maybe once a month, but it's not something consistent. And so I want to eventually have like a a small juice shop, like slash acai bowl, like, you know, or I don't know how people say acai or whatever, but so I want to have that and have like a little cafe and have like small like plates of like healthy food, but also good where people who don't eat healthy food come in and say, hey, oh my God, like I don't like healthy food, but this is good, you know? And so, but I have a purpose with that. Like I want to be able like once a month with our team, like cook nice healthy meals, hot meals, and just go out and help the homeless and feed them, but it would have to be made from scratch. I know a lot of people just hand out sandwiches or just like, you know, and I know everyone does the best that they can. So, and I don't mind them. I don't mind the sandwich thing, but I want to offer something, you know, good to these people. And, you know, these people don't eat healthy. And so to hand them out like healthy food and just letting them know like God loves them and, you know, everything is happening for a reason, but just don't lose faith. And, you know, when handing the food and just working together with the team, I think that's my bigger purpose of like with the food, because even when I just make a plate for someone for food, like I'm always asking, or like, you know, I'm always asking them if it's good or not, or, you know, how was the food? Like, I'm glad you liked it. Like that whole thing like makes me like just very warm inside, I guess. And so I guess I get that from my family, like my mom and my dad, me growing up, like they were always like very welcoming, and their hospitality was there. Like every time someone came to the house, like, oh, sit down, I'm gonna make you something to eat. Like, you want something to drink? Or sometimes they would even make big pots of food, like over the weekend, and have people over. And so I think I get that from.
You're good.
And then I think I get that from them, but I think me getting closer to God, I got the closest to God was this year because of the pandemic and everything that was going on. My relationship with Him grew stronger, and so I just want to be able to, you know, help others in that way, and like, you know, emotionally and physically and whatever they need help in. And I know not everyone, you know, might not be religious as me, but I think everyone should be able to believe in something, something good, and just because, you know, in this life we need something to hold on to, and just be able, you know, if we fall down, you know, who we're going to look up to. And so I think that's very important. But yeah, those are my goals and my dreams on the food business. I want to eventually, you know, have like, be able to be like a part of a community that wants to help people and just you know, just be a part of that. So
yeah. No, totally. You know, and that's something that I'm excited about as, you know, we move forward as an organization. You've agreed to be part of our advisory board. We're going to start meeting and talking about, you know, how we can improve the organization, improve the programs, and how we can continue to help people. And so I think you're already finding ways to get in that community where you can continue to help people. And I'm excited about your food business. I love acai bowls, you know that. I'm up for the flan too. We'll see about the other healthy stuff. But, you know, I'm really excited because I think the cool thing is that being a part of the Family Promise community, you know, we have so many people that are going to be watching this that would probably want to taste your food, that would want to see, like, what are you doing to help the community, and we want to partner with you. So I'm excited about that too.
Yeah.
And I'm excited just to see where that takes you.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else that you wanted to share? Or?
No, I think everyone who goes through here is, you know, goes through a wave of like emotional, you know, things, and I think we should just be grateful for this program, because I've been to other programs and it's not as like in the area, because I know there's a lot in California, but I think this is one of the best programs. So everyone here is, like I said, welcoming, but everyone does their part. Even if they don't know it's something, you know, they'll just take you to someone who does know something. And so I think it's about that teamwork that you guys offer, like, well, that whole community support. Like, it's not just well, I don't know it, and then you're done, you know, like, okay, I can't find that answer for you. And that's it. Like, no, like, you guys will find the answer. Like, we'll get back to you, you know. And I know sometimes you guys are busy and stuff like that, and we do have to remind you, but it's okay, because you know, you guys have other families to take care of as well. And I always understood that. Like, I was never, you know, thinking negative about what was going on. Like, I just said, you know, maybe they have other things going on, and you know, I will just you know, follow up with them, you know, in 2 days or 3 days, it's fine. And so yeah, I just want to tell people that this is a really great program, and they do help you and they do care. Sometimes we feel like when we come in here, we feel like, no, they don't care, because, you know, we come with a baggage, you know, and or trauma or whatever we went through before coming here. And so I just want to tell people that, you know, just, you came to the right place. You know, God does things for a reason, and you're just be grateful and just enjoy the time you're here, and just ask for all the resources you can ask. So.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. I know it's not always easy to do that, so we really appreciate it, and all that you've done for the organization too.